It is everywhere. In our gardens, on our golf courses, in drugstores, in health spas and thermal power plants. Efficient, ecological, and amazing, it could behave like a star but prefers to remain discreet. Under a drab appearance, peat moss displays an array of properties. But first, let's take a look at peat moss. I must admit that with such a color, it could easily be mistaken for grass or soil, but it is neither. No, in fact, peat moss is a unique and renewable resource of vegetable origin, formed by the slow decomposition of moss fragments, sphagnum moss in an air-deprived environment. Sphagnum peat moss, which is abundant in the province of Quebec, was not born yesterday. Actually, it very often dates back several thousands of years. Some 12 to 18,000 years ago, when the last of the great glaciers covering the continent began their northward retreat, streams of melted water flowed and formed a vast number of lakes and post-glacial seas. These lakes and seas progressively disappeared to give way to depressions saturated with stagnant water, much like vast swamps, where plants such as sphagnum and sedges carex deposited by the receding glaciers accumulated in great quantities. The combination of stagnant water, bad drainage, and cold temperatures contributed in acidifying these marshes, making them the ideal spot for sphagnum, a group of mosses, to grow as they thrive best in acid surroundings. They grew and decayed slowly for thousands of years to become what we now call peat bogs. In short, peat bogs are thick mats of decayed vegetable matter. Some peat bogs can be 10 meters deep. No wonder they started forming more than 6,000 years ago. In Canada, peat bogs cover up to 12% of the land. Yet even so, only 0.014% of peat bogs are utilized for harvesting, which is hardly more than 1/10 of a thousand. In Quebec, the major areas producing peat moss are found in the north and northeast, Lower St. Lawrence, Lake Saint-Jean, North Shore, and Lower North Shore. No need to dig to harvest peat moss. Since peat bogs are like large basins full of water, they have to be drained. Once drained, peat is shredded down to a depth of approximately 15 centimeters and left to dry in the sun. It is then harvested with large vacuum machines pulled by tractors. The harvested peat is then piled up at the edge of the bog and transported to the plant, where it is packed in various sizes. Extraordinary powers lie hidden in peat moss. Yes, a little like this, directly connected to its properties. For instance, we know that peat moss can hold up to 10 to 20 times its weight in water or different gases. Since it decays very slowly, it does not contain any bacteria, insects, or potentially harmful living organisms. Finally, it is light, easy to handle and use, in addition to being renewable and, that's important, inexpensive. With so many qualities, no wonder peat moss is used almost everywhere. It's a figure of speech. 95% of the peat moss harvested in North America is used for horticultural purposes. Peat moss is not a fertilizer, though. It is a growing medium and also a soil amendment, which promotes the growth and development of plants, notably because of its high water retention capacity. Peat moss also contributes in helping roots to assimilate soil and fertilizer nutrients, ensuring the vigorous growth of lawns, plants, and trees. Mixed, it is used in potting soils, direct seeding, fertilizers, and also composts in which peat moss eliminates odors. For the same reasons, peat moss is used for agriculture purposes. But its applications are endless and can sometimes seem unusual. Peat moss can be used to decontaminate waterways and marine stretches by absorbing oil spills and slowing down spreading. Peat moss is used in the manufacture of biofilters to purify polluted and contaminated liquids or gases. Its water retention capacities make it the #1 material in the manufacture of sanitary napkins, diapers, and also as litter for animals. Peat moss is an excellent source of fuel. It is used in Scandinavia and in Eastern European countries for the production of electricity and recovery of industrial coke. natural gas, and methanol. In Scotland, the very particular taste of Scotch whiskey is obtained by drying the barley corn over peat moss fires. In Scandinavia, peat moss fibers are mixed with textile fibers to make clothes. In some countries, peat moss is used in building materials, which serves for thermal insulation and soundproofing. Peat moss also boasts healing properties. Many health spas offer, for instance, peat moss baths and body wraps to relieve the pain of rheumatism and arthritis or to soothe the body. Renewable, non-polluting, and natural, peat moss is definitely worth its weight in gold. And much more useful at that.